Alright, we are finally here for testing. That took a little bit longer than it should have. But it got, hot. By the way, Dan thanks you. Apparently the heat that you guys are getting up there is from there being a hurricane down in the Gulf and pushing all the heat that should have been in Texas up to you guys, because he's only been in the low to mid 90s, and normally this time of year, because he's in mid Texas, he's normally in the hundreds. So he says thanks for taking his heat. He appreciates it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was hot as hell up there. And, well, it's summer in the deep south, so it's always hot and humid here. So we took last week off. Not so weekly testing. Okay, I'm not going to annoy seniors as much as possible. I don't promise. I know you don't promise. Even if you did, I'd tell you you're full of shit. So the main thing is that this should now be fixed and working properly. And if I remember correctly, it's supposed to be going in this side and out this side. So put that there. Nope, that has fuel oil in it. Not sure why that has fuel oil in it. This is the one I meant to put here, because that's the one that's full. And that one goes there. And now, where'd the rest of it go? Hello? That was full. That was half full. Dude,
Okay,
what's it doing?
This didn't have filtration tanks on. So what's the outputting?
I swore it was full. Let's try this again. Oh, nope. I got the full one here. Never mind. I'm not retarded. I promise. Okay, you go there. You're going into there, coming out there. And then you come over here. 16 buckets. Beautiful. Now, the other thing I want to test is if I put this here, this is full and can't go anywhere. So it should come back here. Because anything that goes in this input should come out that output.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going there. So if this pipe is full, that should be trying to go back through that input and go that way. That's how we use them as a bypass. So basically you put this in and this is your input pipe, and then if this pipe ever gets full, you know that the tank is full, so then everything should go that way. And then you can dump it into a trash can. So why is it not going that way?
I need to test if it's the pipe or the extender. Wait.
I can show it to you in GT6 if you want to see it, but
I understand. I was saying, what I need to do is get this pipe empty and then fill it from another source and see if it'll go through this way.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. That's easy. We can just do this. And I need this one. Put that there. Now it's empty. So now we put this here. And no, it's not going that way. And that is the secondary output, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, that part's still not working right. What do you mean, really? What are you reeling about, dude? At least the bug with it not going across it works. For most people, this is all they would need, but we need to get that feature fixed. You're not stupid. Yeah, I'm not stupid. I do stupid things. I make stupid choices, but I'm not stupid. I just, you know, play the part occasionally very well. Really?
Well, it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, then is it a duck?
No, it might be a Minecraft chicken. Because they always think they're ducks. Okay, so he also added bookshelves. If I could spell, and as you can see, all of these things show up. Bookshelf when you type it in because can be placed in a bookshelf. All the things. And these are facades, they suck. But we got the regular wooden ones, and we got the metal ones. Though he used the new GT6 recipe, and I really hate that new GT6 recipe. It makes no fucking sense. I know why Greg did it, because he was trying to make things cheaper and get people to make screws more often. I would have done 3 plates and then take out the saw and the hammer and just have 2 screws on the side. But, you know, I don't have a say to how Greg does his recipes, and we really shouldn't change it because it's Greg's fucking recipe. We're supposed to be staying faithful to Greg's shit, but I still fucking hate it. Unless you wanted to make an optional recipe for that. I don't think it's worth the time and effort to do so. So I would personally, honestly, tell me to go fuck myself. And just leave it the way it is. But, you know. Hey, Maze. Yes, I'm sure. Sure about what, I don't know. I'm guessing the stupid part. Guessing we're still stuck on the is bear stupid. Anyways, let's get one of these made, and I'm not making screws. So we're just going to make a wood one. We need a soft hammer. We need
You can use violet woods for them too, but plan to add other woods too.
Okay. You gonna add a wood database like Greg added?
Something like that, I guess.
Okay. Let's say Greg added a whole wood database so he could put every wood in 1710 in that database and then make... Wait a minute, I swear that's the recipe. What the fuck did I do wrong? Oh, it's a file, not a screwdriver, because it doesn't have fucking screws, retard. I'm not stupid, I'm telling you. I'm just an idiot. There we go. Now, does this work as an enchanting bookshelf?
Yeah, it should.
Okay.
Though I'm not really sure how accurate it is to how Greg said, because it might be too effective.
Do we have books? We have these. I can throw one of those in it. Now, luckily with yours, we can actually see what it says, what it is, which I like. Greg's, you can't do that because Greg absolutely hates fucking Walia and will not fucking make shit work with it. We actually have to use a magnifying glass to tell, which doesn't work, but doesn't need to work because it fucking tells you right there. Selector tags work. We'll take this over to the storage house and see what we can find.
Oh, here's something else to try to put in there.
Yep, molds work. And it's so nice I can see what the fuck mold it is. God, you don't know how much of a pain in the ass that is for somebody with a terrible memory like me to try to remember. Oh, it looks like you missed something. I can't put a lever in there.
Oh yeah, it was the lever torches and some. I mean, buttons I haven't figured out yet. I don't understand what they're supposed to do because it's something special. I don't know.
Oh, it's just so it's just so you can make a hidden bookshelf. So you can right click on the book and it gives a redstone signal like you hit a button. Did you ever see my library entrance in?
No.
I'll hold on. I'll show it to you here in a minute. Let's go play in the storage room. I'll load up GT6 and show you my library. Literally, the button and the lever do the exact same thing. They do nothing different. Alright.
I also like put cobblestone in them for some reason.
You should not be able to put cobblestone in it.
Well, you can. GT6, you can put cobblestone in the bookshelf.
Huh? I don't remember that being a thing. Loading up GT6 now. Do you see anything that looks like it would be armor tools, wood related, nature, mob, random shit? Can't put a clock in it. We could kind of. What do you think of these upgrades? Since sophisticated backpacks is a thing in this version, do you want to put upgrades in there? Regular book works. Do we have any silk touch things? Are we gonna have to remake these? Well, it'll be easier to do this. Just move this over here by our beds. And that's a plain book, so I shouldn't get much, if anything, from it. Enchanted books should give extra.
There are some enchanted books by the bookshelves.
Grab some of these music discs. Let's go shove them in and see. Yes. You didn't see me put the mold in? We tried the mold. Okay, still 1 to 3 with all of that, so far I don't see where it's overpowered.
Records don't do anything for enchantment. I mean, certainly books and enchanted books.
I'm just... Enchanted books... I don't even remember what the exact... I don't know. You'd almost have to look at Greg's code to know how he does this. Now, I know that at least in GT6, you had to pretty much fill both sides of one of these to even see anything happen. When I show you my library, you'll see what I mean, because it's got plain books on like every fucking side of the damn thing. Well, they're written books, but
I don't think records are gonna work.
I think it's excessive how many books you had to put in a GT6 one. Okay, just the front, I'm now at 2, 6, and 12. So,
yeah, it's from the books. The records don't do anything for enchantment.
Oh, the records don't do anything. Okay. Alright. Well, let me go over to GT6 real quick, since I got it up. And let's change this to desktop. Why is desktop not working? What the fuck did Discord do? Fuck, what is this? Okay, that shows it. There we go. I just had to go into properties. Figures. Or, not Discord, OBS. OBS just updated, so. And no, Etherin, button and lever do the exact same thing. I'm pretty sure I have a lever in mine. Why is this doing this again? This normally doesn't do this in the Java 20 version. Go away. Alright. Which book is it? Not that one. Not that one. That's the one. Come on. Do the pop. Thank you. Come on. Get up here. Something's not right with the redstone because I used GT6 redstone instead of vanilla. And me and Greg went around and round about it. But yeah, these are all vanilla books that I shoved in here. And I don't have a pickaxe to show you, but like almost every one of these is double-sided with books to get me up to level 30. But yeah, this is just a... Oh, this is a button. I thought it was a lever. Let me go grab a lever. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, they just do the same thing, because that's something Greg had said when he did it, was that there's no difference between a button and a lever, and I haven't messed with it in fucking forever. Come on, there's got to be a... There's a lever. I can see an argument for one being constant and the other not, but See? Same thing. Come on. Except now it's not working. Need a button. Is it?
Actually, can't look at the map.
It's making it like 2-stage. So it is acting a little bit different. I don't know exactly what the hell it's doing, to be perfectly honest.
The best way to find out would be to put redstone next to a bookshelf and what happens.
Yeah, let me go grab some vanilla redstone and see what it does. I need to grab some food. Where did I put all my food? There's my food. It's not what I was eating, but it works. Redstone, redstone. Come here. I still gotta fix that. I wrenched my damn gate. Never fixed it. Fuck, it is constant. I didn't think the lever was. Shows how much I fucking remember. Huh. Alright, so a button is a button and a lever is a lever. It's weird that a lever shows up as a regular book and a button shows up as an enchanted book. Huh. It's been way too long since I've messed with this shit. I got the idea to build that library from it, and that's the only time I've ever used it. Alright, let's head back over here. There we go. Now I'm over here. Okay, slightly changed hand circuit recipe. To basic circuit board. So it's now 4 parts and 2 wires around the board. And then you have the 10 wires around that, and that gives you basic circuit. Or you do it in forming press with 4 and the copper etching stuff, and then your molten soldering alloy. Okay, that looks much better. Let's see. GT lib just includes some internal renames of some bits of code, has literally no effect on how the mod functions. Alright, so you were doing some things. What were you doing behind the scenes? Weren't you working on something?
I'm working on rewriting Tesseract, the API, energy API.
Can you help me with the records? You know what? Screw it. Just put the damn things up here and we'll leave this thing right here. And it'll give her a place to hold these damn records. No, there isn't a circuit assembler in the basic settings. That'll be the hard settings. It'll have the circuit assembler and all those shit recipes from GT5U. These are basic circuit recipes that are supposed to be somewhat similar to GT5 before Bloody had his whole psycho circuit shit. That'll be when we get to 119 and 120 that we'll do that crap. Fuck that circuit assembler. Those things are just annoying for anybody that isn't a masochist and doesn't want to be setting up 400 machines to do one thing. Even I can't even stand automating circuits in GT5U. So many little bits and bobs you gotta fuck with, it's annoying. This is a mixture between GT5, GT6, and our own addition to make things balanced. Because the circuit parts still have the GT5U recipe, but you can do the forming press recipe from GT6 when you can make silicon foil, and then you can just use the fine stuff, but silicon foil takes silicon plates, and this recipe still needs to fuck off. I still hate
silicon's the next thing we gotta figure out.
Yeah.
Because they conflict with wafers currently.
Yeah, we gotta work on that. Silicon foil should not come from... I would almost say have a wafer cut into foil, maybe. Because you get, what, 16... silicon buell, you get 16 wafers. In GT6, let me...
Cuts down to 4 plates.
Yeah, you only get 4 plates. So... that would make it way cheaper if you had... you would almost have to do a couple wafers to a foil almost. Wait a minute. You could do 1 wafer to a foil. That would be like literally the same Because over here you take the buell and you put it in the cutter and you get 4 of the plates. And then you turn 1 plate into 8 of the tiny silicon plates. And that's what you use. You could actually, instead of using foil, change it out for the tiny plate and just cut a wafer into a tiny plate. That would make more sense than cutting it into foil. And foil for this doesn't really make sense. And that would give you, from 1 buell, it would be 8 times 4. That would be 32. So if you did 16, if you get 16 wafers from a buell, then 1 wafer cuts into 2 tiny plates. And that would still give you the 32. The only difference is you wouldn't get that tiny pile of silicon dust out that you use to make a new buell. That's the only difference, is you don't have the waste of that 1 tiny. Oh, and I completely didn't show you guys what I was looking at. But yeah, 4 plates, and then 1 plate cuts into 8, and a tiny dust, and then that tiny dust you put back into here, so you don't have to break your full dust up to make your buell. But if you do that, then you end up with a shit ton of extra, because it gives you 4 equal. What you have in liquid is 4 minus the 1 tiny you put in there. So I say just go with that, and then that'll fix that whole issue of having silicon plates and foil.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you make your parts like this, and then you do the forming press, which is the same recipe as GT6, same as these, same with engraving this, which is also the same from GT5, and then this was added because in GT6 you can make a bath way easier than you can, well, way earlier than you can circuits. So since it's back-assward here, we had to add a handcrafting recipe, and we didn't want to add a soldering iron that would literally have no use other than in that recipe. It made no sense. And since we're not doing maintenance hatches, we don't need a fucking soldering iron. Which is very GT5, because GT5, Greg never added the soldering iron. That was literally the first thing Bloody added to GT5U, was the soldering iron, because in GT5 we all use duct tape on our multi-blocks, because duct tape fixed, I think it was 90%. It did 90% of the maintenance. And so rather than using your tools on it occasionally to repair it, you just duct tape the fucking thing, and it worked at 90% efficiency, and you never had to fuck with it. So that was the first thing Bloody did, was give us the soldering iron so we could actually do the full 100% maintenance. Alright. So, the other thing that we've been talking about, we need to get the fusion reactor done. we need to work on getting replication set up so we can test it. We're working on iridium right now, iridium and osmium right now. That's what the machines are doing. But we need to get this made, and we've been talking about the coils, the fusion coils, because we don't have, right now it's using superconductor wire, but there's no way of making superconductor wire. And we've been talking about changing that superconductor coil into just an iridium coil, adding an iridium coil that is only for the fusion reactor, does nothing for other multi-blocks. But if we do that, that would also take the place of the iridium neutron reflectors, which is also doesn't have a recipe right now and completely isn't needed because we don't have GT or IC2 style reactors. And I say we just have the fusion coil itself be the iridium coil. This recipe just isn't needed. And then if we want to do something different when we get to 119 and 120, we can. But I say we just leave it with the iridium coils, like what Greg did in GT6. Though if we do change it in GT or in here in 119, 120, I would rather go with that that blanket thing I told you about. It's been a while. I'll have to look it back up again. But apparently they have a blanket type of thing that is made of lithium and something else. I don't remember what it is right now, for catching the neutrons coming out of it. Alright, so we got 172 iridium and we got 10 osmium. And these should be running non-stop over here getting our sheldonite done. So replicator, I just need 4 osmium wires, so that's 2 ingots right there to make that. Mass fabricator, if we just go with LV, I need another 2 for that. And then that's it, right? The scanner, we just use the scanner that's downstairs. We just need the matter fab and the replicator, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we can start working on that tomorrow or next week, whichever. If we manage to get our asses here tomorrow to work on it, we can start working on that. I think as much as I would like to see the multi-block mass fabricator, I think we should hold off that because it's going to take a lot of fucking work until we get to 119, 120, because we got to figure out what we're going to do about the computer cores. So I say, as of now, we have the replication stuff and you getting the extender working with the other direction thing, and the fusion reactor, and we're basically done with this version. And then we can start going to 119, 120. You're supposed to ignore me on Discord when you're streaming, fucker. I can't ignore you when it's on my other screen, and I was literally going to Discord to get my change log. And I did ignore it. I didn't see it. I didn't read it, but I seen it. Yes, nuclear reactors are in. We've got one built back here. We do still need to do, and we'll have to when it comes time to do the fusion and stuff. But yeah, we've got a reactor set up back here. I still would love to switch this bitch out for the GT6 one. I don't know how in love people are with the GT5 style heat exchanger, but I love the way the one in GT6 works, but it needs a boiler to go with it. Kind of. That's what it's supposed to sit under. So, yeah, may not work. Brick floor, dirt ceiling. Did we not fix the ceiling back there? Oh, we haven't even fixed the walls back here. Oh, yeah. We haven't even finished the ceiling yet. Yeah, we just dug this all out so we could get this in here. We ain't even bothered to mess with the walls yet. Tamara hasn't been here. Tamara does all our interior decorating. I just tear shit up and put shit in. That's my job. And so, depending on how things go, I'm hopefully going... No, because it's not turned on right now. I'm hopefully going to start testing this in the mornings if I can. If the monster doesn't drive me nuts, it may end up being mid-afternoon because Junior's usually off work by 11 or 12. So a couple days a week, I may be starting a single-player version of this world unless I can get Ethrin to leave fucking 1710 and come join me. Then I'll put it on a separate server. Or if any of the Misfits or Patreon members want to come and join me, I'll put it on a separate server. But I want to give this a proper playthrough for a final testing while Trends is getting everything ready for 119 and 120. Oh, I just said that I'm going to be starting a single player world of this, unless I can drag your bitch ass out of 1710 to come play with me in the afternoons. My afternoons, your evenings. Like 7 o'clock your time. 118? Hell no. The highest I can think of playing is 112 sucks. There's no swimming. Look, dude. There's swimming. You can swim. You have actual fishies that you can murder and go eat. Yeah, I agree with Trends. I would rather play 1710 than 112. I hate 112. I got out of that version as quick as I possibly could. Trins has put a lot of work into this. At least try it for him. I agree, Treasure. And you should come fucking try it with me. You can try. Alright, that's all I can ask is for you to try. I'll get this version of the pack updated. We'll talk about it in Discord. See if any of the other... remember, I don't have my streaming PC or my server PC right now. So the world's not going to be up 24/7. I can load it up if somebody needs it, but it isn't going to be able to run constantly. So you're not just going to be able to jump on whenever. So it's pretty much going to be you're working with me, or you know, you're working off on your own, but when I'm streaming. Oh yeah, the MB is still broken. MB? What multi-block is still broken? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
Motherboard.
Oh, motherboard. Yes, the motherboard's still broken. Junior's got to get... Junior had to go and get a new truck, which he's paying like $100 a fucking week for. He's working 2 jobs right now to pay for it and save up the money to fix the other truck. So, yeah, there's no money to put into getting the motherboard exchanged, and we don't want to exchange out the motherboard, because we could get a motherboard for like $100 probably, but it's a last generation motherboard, and for right around the same price we can get the new gen motherboard to put into Junior's computer, which has the last gen motherboard in it, that we could put into the server. But to do that, we got to get Junior's computer to new RAM and new CPU, so it's going to cost like $300 rather than $100. So as soon as he gets the truck fixed and gets comfortable paying for his truck, we'll work on getting that fixed. I could put it on the streaming PC, but that's a generation even back further. I don't know if it's fast enough to run it. We would probably see lag if I tried putting it in there. But anyways, we're going to get the hell out of here. We need to get this shit tested. Like I said, I'm going to try. My back's not hurting too bad. I've been having issues with it the last couple weeks because my chair's being weird. And it's been raining off and on nonstop. We're going to try to be here tomorrow to actually get some work done and get that replication stuff set up and see what we can do with it, and hopefully get enough of that iridium done that once he gets the coil change done, we can start on making the fusion reactor. So we'll probably have to replicate some osmium. Either that, or I'm going to have to go do a lot more mining of sheldonite vein. Stream has only been live an hour. What are you stopping for? Because I'm hurting and Trins has to go to bed, and this isn't a normal stream. This is a testing stream. We keep them short and precise. That way, if anybody wants to go back and watch it later, they only have a half hour to an hour and a half, not 4 hours. This isn't a normal stream. Normal streams are like 4 hours plus. So, night guys.